Good morning and welcome here, members of the press, distinguished guest speakers, sponsors, community organization partners, filmmakers, film enthusiasts, and friends. We are grateful to you for making the time and effort to be with us here today. We know this interrupts your usual programming. My name is Timothy Lenko, and I am happy to be your host this morning. I'm also very, very happy to get to be together as we kick off RIFFA's 10th anniversary festival season. This morning, each of our speakers will highlight either an era or an aspect of our organization's decade of work and what we can anticipate this year. The final piece of our time together will be the announcement of this year's award nominees. And I do want to say a special welcome to those filmmakers who are joining us online and in person in hopes of hearing their names among that cohort. For those in the room, I do ask that you would silence or power down your mobile devices. And if you didn't get a print program, just give a wave to Amber or Vanshika and they'll make sure that you get one. I also wanted to say a big thank you to the Cornwall Centre for their assistance in mounting this event. These are never uncomplicated, and we are very grateful for your assistance and hospitality. We're grateful to be funded by Sask Arts and the Community Initiatives Fund. We owe our thanks also to a number of sponsors who make this all possible. The Canada Media Fund, Telefilm Canada, Rohit Homes, RBC, Dr. Renata Varma, Play Creative Media, Fire Ring Productions, Java Post Productions, CBC, Hotel Sask, City TV, Cornwall Centre, Mr. Web Guy, and Barker's Trophies. We're also really glad to work in partnership with the Mackenzie Art Gallery and with the support of our venue of choice, RCMP Heritage Centre. It's also a privilege to gather together on this land, referred to as Treaty 4 territory, the lands of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, and on the homeland of the Métis Michif Nation. We stand on soil that has seen a long heritage of storytelling, and we acknowledge that we stand on their shoulders. We at RIFFA hope our collective efforts to celebrate the human spirit and collaborative storycraft and the community of filmmaking will be a venue for acts of true reconciliation on every level. This morning, the panel of speakers sitting next to me also have my gratitude for their contribution today. By way of introduction, let me start at the far end. Giovanna Navarrete is a local filmmaker and RIFFA's Director of Film Programming. Dr. Renata Varma is, of course, one of Regina's most trusted surgeons and the Secretary of the RIFFA Board of Directors. Dr. Philip Cherrier is the Vice President on our Board of Directors and Head of the History Department at the University of Regina. John Timothy is next to him, RIFFA's founder and our President and CEO. Next, Valerie Creighton, President and CEO of the Canada Media Fund, one of our biggest sponsors. She is one of Canada's heavy hitters advocating for Canadian content here and abroad. Finally, here beside me is the Mayor of Regina, His Worship Chad Bashinsky. Thank you all for being here with us today. We will have a time for questions after all of the speakers have spoken. So I'll let you hold on to those questions. Without any further ado, let me hand off to John Timothy to get us all started.
Thank you, Tim. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today in a special celebration of RIFFA, the 10th anniversary. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us today. This moment is incredibly special to us, all of us at RIFFA, because we are here to celebrate something that began as a dream that 10 years later has become a global platform for powerful storytelling and inclusive cinema. When we launched Regina International Film Festival and Awards in 2015, We had a bold vision to create a space where stories from every corner of the world and every walk of life could be seen, heard, and celebrated. In the 10th year since that vision has grown into a reality far beyond what we ever imagined. Since its inception, RIFFA has showcased over 1,000 films spoken in 187 languages with entries from 93 countries. We have given opportunities for 303 first-time filmmakers and proudly platformed 268 female directors. We have welcomed groundbreaking films from LGBTQ plus artists, indigenous creators, newcomers, and voices often pushed to the margins of the mainstream. And we didn't stop at just showing films. We built something deeper, a movement of connection and inclusion. Right here in Saskatchewan, RIFFA has grown into more than a festival. Through our initiatives like the Look Mental Health Film Initiative Program, the Bridge Screen, and for year-round partnership, we have brought a magic of cinema into various facilities like universities, libraries, rehabilitation centers, long-term care facilities. We have offered people not only a chance to watch stories, but to tell their own stories as well. We have worked to empower local talent, support mental wellness, and challenges what it means to be truly represented on screen. This 10th year milestone is not just about looking back. It's a moment to thank our community, our volunteers, and partners, and the hundreds of filmmakers who trusted us with their work. You made RIFFA what it is today. We have built something meaningful, not just for Saskatchewan or Canada, but for the world. Over the next few minutes, you will hear from several of our team members as we reflect on our key highlights and contributions over this past decade. After that, we will officially launch RIFFA 2025 with new programs, venues, exciting events that we hope will bring even more people into RIFFA family. Thank you so much for growing with us. Thank you for believing in stories, and thank you for being a part of the celebration. Let us make this 10th year anniversary most forgettable chapter yet. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Our next few speakers will carry on in sequence after that. First, Dr. Philip Cherrier, then Dr. Renata Varma, followed by Valerie Creighton and Mayor Bashinsky. So, Dr. Cherrier.
Hello, everyone. Before coming down here this morning, I Googled this event to make sure that I got here at the right time. And the image search brought up events from years past, and I was somewhat surprised to see a younger fellow sitting where I am now. It was difficult for me to recognize him at first, but it was me. And I was surprised in part by how confident I looked, because in those early days, it was a bit of a tenuous operation in various respects, which I'll touch on in a second. So I feel a lot more comfortable today, even though a little older and creakier. But I want to just begin by asking you to toss out a few film festival names for me. Obviously, there's the Regina Film Festival, but give me a few others. Okay, Yorkton. Tribeca. I can't hear them all, unfortunately, but I'm trusting that you're covering the country and the globe. I ask you that because starting a film festival from scratch, from zero, was not a straightforward operation in any way. I'd like for you now to throw out a few ideas for me in terms of how you would go from zero to the film festival that we have today. 10 years is a long time. What are some of the considerations that you would have in wanting to create something meaningful and successful locally? What would be the considerations? Too many. Money. It costs a lot of money. And I can tell you, ticket sales don't pay the bills. So getting sponsors that are going to come back year after year and support us, big challenge. Building an audience, right? Encouraging people in a city that has not had a film festival. Yorkton obviously close by, but in Regina. Submissions. We started off the first year with fewer than 200. We're up into hundreds now from around the world, as John indicated. All of these things have required a tremendous amount of time and effort. I've got some other, COVID came along midway. We had to really pivot for that year. And the question of how do you grow and evolve so as to become increasingly relevant locally and to insert yourself meaningfully into the cultural programs that cycle through the city in the summer. So I think I came this morning at the coffee shop with 3 fundamental values, I think, that have guided us and that represent who we are today. The first one is to make the festival meaningful for people here. If it's not meaningful to people here, I think then we've missed our purpose. This festival is about Regina. It's about Saskatchewan, and it's about the prairies first and foremost. It's about supporting Saskatchewan talent in all aspects of film and creating festival programs that resonate for us. Secondly, supporting the local business community by bringing visitors to the city, utilizing local resources and talent, and helping put Regina on the map of summer cultural events in Canada. And thirdly, supporting mental health through our Look program that gives local youth with mental health issues the opportunity to receive expert-based education in film. Look has supported more than 60 students since 2016, several of whom have moved into university-based film programs and into the film industry. There are many more values and achievements I could point to. My colleagues will have their own lists, but I just wanted to come back to the first one about the local, about the city, about the South Saskatchewan region, and support everyone who has helped us build this from scratch and to make it one of the best film festivals in Canada and certainly the most ambitious. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. So, touching on what Philip mentioned, how do we make this festival more meaningful to our residents of Saskatchewan? RIFFA's journey isn't just about film, it's about who gets access to it and who will tell their story. In 2018, we partnered with the Wascana Rehabilitation Centre, one of Saskatchewan's largest rehabilitation facilities, and we launched what's called the Bridge Screening Program. The idea was simple. If someone can't come to the festival should go to them. So we began with one accessible screening, and today that program includes 14 annual events, plus bedside screenings for individuals who are bedridden, turning film into connection, healing, and dignity. From there, we imagined something even bolder. What if someone who couldn't travel still wanted to experience the world? That led to the creation of the RIFFA Virtual Gateway Program. Using immersive VR technology, we helped individuals with mobility challenges explore landscapes, interact with digital environments, and stimulate memory and emotion. This is storytelling as therapy, and it's changing lives in Saskatchewan. But our impact has also been political. In 2018, during the height of the Me Too movement, RIFFA, still a small volunteer-driven festival, made the difficult decision to redesign its award statue to be gender neutral. It was a costly rebrand at a time when we were already working with very limited resources. But for us, it wasn't just a question of can we afford this, it was a deeper question of can we stand behind what we say and what we believe in. As an organization, we've learned to frequently check in with ourselves to ask, are we aligned with our values? Are we evolving with the world around us? The process of self-reflection led us to take action, not because it was easy or convenient, but because it was the right thing to do. Leadership for us has never been about doing what's possible when things are comfortable. It's about adapting and acting with our abilities, guided by our convictions. In 2022, following the Russian invasion of Ukraine, RIFFA took another stand, becoming one of the earliest festivals in Canada to suspend submissions from Russia. This was a difficult decision, but in line with our mission to give voice to the voiceless and to stand against oppression. RIFFA is more than a festival. It's a platform of purpose. Thank you.
Well, given that, I think the first thing I'd like to do is thank John, Tim, and the board for having me back, and the work it takes to support and put on a festival like this, just in normal times, is extremely difficult. And with what this festival has achieved, as you've just heard, it's quite phenomenal. So let's thank them. So a couple of people asked me this morning if I flew in from Toronto to be here. The answer to that is no. I drove in from Stoughton, where I have a horse ranch. And I just want to tell you, if I didn't have the ranch, there'd be a lot of dead people in Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa. So, you know, that's how I feel about the big cities. Pat's laughing. She knows me well, so. And I want to thank the press for coming out. You know, getting the word about these events out to the public is absolutely critical. And you guys are under tremendous pressure in terms of how the world is going and how media is going. So let's thank the press for being here. So the last time I came to RIFFA, I was invited to do a panel with the head of Telefilm, Krista Dickinson, the head of the Rogers Fund, Robin Mirsky, and well-known documentary filmmaker Jen Baishawal. Now, these are all city gals, so I said to them, well, you're coming to Regina. Why don't you come out to the ranch the night before? I'll cook you dinner, and we'll go and do our panel the next day. So off they come with who they are, brought many good gifts, including a great bottle of scotch, and I cooked them dinner, and then I said, come on, we're going to go outside and have a fire. And Robin Mirsky said, well, are there bugs? Is it cold? And I said, get a jacket on and come out. We had a great fire, great visit. Robin Mirsky actually touched a horse, and I got Jen Baishawal to crawl through an electric fence into the barley field. Now, this is a woman who has been around tragedy around the world, and she was afraid of an electric fence. So the next day, after we had our dinner, they wouldn't get up, and they wouldn't leave, and they said, we don't want to go to work. We just want to stay here, and I said, okay. So anyway, we came and did a great panel. So thank you for inviting me back. I'm just delighted to be here. So, you know, today, RIFFA stands. It's just not a local festival, even though it's called the Regina International Festival. It's a nationally recognized cultural institution, and it's because of all the people behind it, those sitting here and many others, and I'm sure many hundreds of volunteers. In 2017, the RIFFA Foundation formally launched the RIFFA Academy, which you've heard about, and its incredible educational wing dedicated to supporting Saskatchewan's creative industry. It offers emerging mid-career filmmakers mentorships, fellowships, networking, and training programs, all built around inclusion and professional development. Two major milestones solidified RIFFA's standing, and it made it easy for us as the Canada Media Fund to get behind this festival. They were officially recognized by the Canadian Screen Award qualifying festivals by the Academy of Canadian Cinema and Television, and they became a registered Canadian charity, allowing them to reinvest deeply into the local and community programs. RIFFA is proud to be run by a team of over 80 dedicated volunteers, okay, not quite hundreds, but you're getting close, many of whom hold advanced degrees in film, healthcare, social work, and nonprofit management. Their collective contributions are valued at more than $622,000 annually based on national volunteer wage standards. Together, they've hosted films and filmmakers from all over the world, including winners of the Oscars, the Emmys, BAFTAs, Goyas, and Indian National Awards. And they've made space for public discussion, critical in today's world and as we face some of society's most pressing issues, from mental health, poverty, LGBTQ plus identity, and environmental justice. Even during COVID-19, when most festivals went dark, RIFFA adapted and launched an online streaming platform, continuing to serve audiences and creators alike where it mattered most. So in 10 years, RIFFA isn't just a film festival. It's actually a catalyst for culture, community, and change. So tell the world, get out there, tell your friends, tell people to come, watch the films, get involved, be a volunteer, whatever role suits you best. Because it's events like this. Stories are what connect us. Stories are what teach us who we are. Stories are what help us bridge gaps between cultures and help us understand each other. I'm in the business every day of storytelling, and Canada is blessed with a wealth of talent and ideas, but it's stories that are going to get us ahead. Not money, although God knows you need a lot of it, but it's actually the creative industry and the stories they provide that help us all as a society. Thank you, and thanks for inviting me back.
Good morning, everyone. And it's good to know, Valerie, where to go if I need a scotch by a campfire in Stoughton, so thank you for that. I'm thrilled to be here today. On behalf of my City Council colleagues in the City of Regina, it's my pleasure to join you all in honoring the 10th Annual Regina International Film Festival and Awards. RIFFA is truly a remarkable foundation, an event that has become a cornerstone of Saskatchewan's cultural framework over the last decade. What began as a grassroots initiative has blossomed into Saskatchewan's largest film festival, a cultural force that brings global stories to local stages and puts Regina on the map as a cinematic destination. For 10 years now, RIFFA has championed films created with a strong artistic voice, and these films offer unique, distinctive, and powerful perspective from both well-known and emerging filmmakers. This festival highlights stories that challenge, inspire, and explore fascinating characters and ideas. As this year marks the 10th anniversary of RIFFA, it's filled with an exceptional lineup. Audiences will have the opportunity to experience an array of films from Saskatchewan, across Canada, and from around the world. This year's edition, running from August 13th to 23rd, promises to be nothing short of extraordinary. For 10 full days, 5 virtual and 5 in person, the city will come alive with voices, visions, and dreams of filmmakers from across the globe. RIFFA received hundreds of film submissions from 74 countries, but only the best 103 films were selected to be featured in this year's program, a curated celebration of cinematic excellence. Even more inspiring, these films speak over 27 different languages, showcasing the festival's commitment to global diversity and artistic inclusion. From August 18th to 23rd, as a reminder, Regina will host over 80 hours of in-person programming at beloved cultural venues like the Mackenzie Art Gallery, the RCMP Heritage Centre, Hotel Saskatchewan, Doubletree Hotel, and Dark Hall. There will be red carpet premieres, exclusive screenings, industry panels, educational events, networking socials, and even an outdoor cinema under the stars at a Northgate Community Park. The cultural and economic impact of this film festival for Regina cannot be overstated, as it stands out as a premier event across the Prairie provinces. The festival attracts visitors and industry talent from near and far, engaging local businesses and contributing to our city's profile as a thriving hub for arts and innovation. By showcasing local talent alongside international artists, RIFFA highlights the strength of Saskatchewan's creative community and provides our filmmakers with a platform to share their stories on a global stage. So on behalf of the City of Regina, we look forward to celebrating the incredible Regina International Film Festival. I want to say thank you to the organizers and volunteers, filmmakers, and everyone who makes RIFFA possible. Together, you enrich our city's artistic culture and serve as an inspiration to us all. So let the lights shine, the stories unfold, and the next chapter begin. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Baczynski, for your support and for highlighting the impact RIFFA has made over the past 10 years. I'd like to continue with a few important updates that complete the picture to what RIFFA 2025 represents, not only as a film festival, but also as a platform for inclusion, development, and accessibility. One of the key areas that we are proud to grow this year is our partnership with the Oscana Rehabilitation Center. Since 2018, RIFFA has hosted in-person screenings for its residents and their families. Now, the Oscana Rehabilitation Center is a permanent venue with over 300 wheelchair-bound residents receiving 10 days of in-person screenings, all provided without any cost. This is a meaningful extension of our commitment to accessibility. Another, sorry, I'm a bit nervous. This is my first time in a press conference, so please forgive me. Another initiative central to our mission is the Mental Health Film Initiative. This program trains and mentors individuals with lived mental health experiences and provides them with a platform to create original short films to share their stories. To this date, we've helped 65 participants. This year, 11 new graduates will debut their work at the Mackenzie Art Gallery on August 18th at 6 p.m. Their stories will open our film festival, and they represent the openness that RIFFA aims to achieve with its film festival and with our accessibility initiatives. We're also excited to introduce the 2025 recipient of the RIFFA Launchpad. This program is a program that supports early career filmmakers into making their first few short films. This year's winner is Leila Bautista, a Filipina-Canadian filmmaker from Saskatchewan. Yeah, woo! Her short film, entitled Beginner's Luck, will premiere on August 22nd at the RCMP Heritage Center alongside all of our other Saskatchewan Saskatchewan film selections. Leila's prize includes funding, production gear, legal consultations, and a full festival pass, all valued at a total dollar amount of $21,600. This is not only an award, it's a practical investment into the future generations of storytellers. This year also marks a new powerful collaboration. RIFFA has partnered as a cultural destination with Canoe, a program led by the Institute for Canadian Citizenship. This partnership offers exclusive access to newcomers across Canada, helping them connect with the arts and explore national events, and positions RIFFA as a proud gateway for culture in Saskatchewan. All of these updates point to the same goal, expanding the reach and relevance of RIFFA, not just within the film industry, but within our broader community. Thank you to our team, our partners, and every supporter who continues to shape the festival into what it is today. We look forward to see you at the festival.
And now the moment that a lot of people have been waiting for. We're going to turn our attention directly to those filmmakers that this event is all about. Giovanna is going to begin the announcement of this year's award nominees.
Thank you, Tim. So we'll begin our announcements with Canadian Feature. So the nominees for Best Canadian Feature are All Eyes on Me, directed by Pascal Payan from Quebec. Neon Dreaming, directed by Marie-Claire Marcotte from Saskatchewan. And Okurimono, directed by Laurence Levesque, also from Quebec. These are the nominees for Best Canadian Feature. And now for Best International Feature. Soft Leaves, directed by Miwako van Weyenberg from Belgium. Tell the Wind 2, directed by Sina Kani from Iran. The Things You Kill, directed by Alizera Katami from France and Turkey. And Violet Butterflies, directed by Adolfo Davila from Mexico. And these are the nominees for Best International Feature. And before I hand it over to Renata, I have the nominees for Best Documentary Feature as well. Farming the Revolution, directed by Nishita Jain from India. Letter to My Tribe, directed by B.H. Yao from Canada. Rule of Stone, directed by Danae Elon from Canada as well. Seeing Through the Darkness, directed by Simon Plouffe, also from Canada. And Toroboro, the Name of the Plants, directed by Manolo Sarmiento from Brazil and Ecuador. Thank you.
The nominees for Best Indigenous Short are Anoch Ota Ikwaparan Akosin, directed by Catherine Boivin from Quebec. Gods and Devils, directed by J. Cardinal Villeneuve from Alberta. Shaping Our Future, directed by Steve Switoltu from British Columbia. Washeshkun, directed by Norman Jr. Thiernish Pilot from Quebec. Uko, directed by Arina Mado from the Republic of Karelia. These are the nominees for Best Indigenous Short. The nominees for Best Student Short are As I Witness, directed by Pamela Martinez from USA, Palestine, and Venezuela. Aura, directed by Konrad Kultis from Poland. No Time, directed by Nadia Katimlyansak from Germany. Trains Passing By, directed by Artemisia Stella Reffel from Austria. These are the nominees for Best Student Short.
Continuing on with the shorts, the nominees for Best Canadian Shorts are Brotherly, directed by Gavin Seal from Quebec. Hiko, directed by Flavien Dumeur from Quebec. The Table Between Us, directed by Nikki Ray Hallow from Alberta. The Human Under the Bed, directed by Ewan O'Leary, Nova Scotia. And Salem on the Road, directed by Etienne Gallois, Quebec. These are the nominees for Best Canadian Shorts. Best International Shorts are as follows. Black Cotton, directed by Tian Yang Ho. The Land of the Dead Deer, directed by Anahita Karchek. And Surush Javasde from Iran. Moving, directed by Nat Rovit, USA. These are the nominees for Best International Shorts. And lastly, for me, the nominees for Best Documentary Shorts are A Big Adventure, directed by Hero Hemmingsley from the Netherlands. Bourdieu's Angels, directed by Ozgun Gunduz from Canada. How the World is Going to End by Vladislav Motorichev, United Kingdom. And Moonbelly, directed by Liliana Khan, Mexico. These are the nominees for Best Documentary Short.
The nominees for the Best Animated Shorts are Anomaly, directed by Arthur Volligos. This movie is from Latvia. And Christopher and the Bug, directed by Vanessa Lynn Esteves. And this movie is from Canada. Holy Heavens, directed by Farnoosh Abedi Ranani and Nega Kezri Bardiad. And this movie is from Iran. The Light in the Dark, directed by Yu Fang Cho, and this movie is from Taiwan. These are the nominees for the Best Animated Short. And the last but the most awaited category, which is the nominees for the best Saskatchewan shorts. And the nominees are Day to Day, directed by Mark Wehak, Disconnect, directed by Owen Asman, Driver's License, directed by Lynette Piper and Carla Weber, Excalibur, directed by Jordan Vanzina, and the last nominee is Gymnastics, directed by Nikki Buziak and Leo Fafard. These are the nominees for Saskatchewan short film. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a hand for all of our 2025 RIFFA nominees. Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone. And for the press, I just wanted to point out that Lynette Piper and Carla Weber are here if you wanted to get a comment from them later. Do you want to stand up and we'll give you one more round of applause for being here in person? And their film will screen alongside all of the Saskatchewan short films on Friday, August 22nd at the RCMP Heritage Centre. If you go to riffa.ca, we'll have the full schedule there shortly. At this point, does anyone have any questions for any member of the panel? Yes. Yeah, so the question is, you've come so far in 10 years, what do you see in the next 10 years? And John, you can lead it.
Well, the world is an imagination. You can just, as a small festival with a 10 years old, RIFFA were able to reach this far. I think the support that we have at this moment, because when we started RIFFA, it was just a group of 12 local volunteers came together to make this happen. And there wasn't enough funding at that time. I just want to mention the dealership, Dilawri, came in place with $15,000 and said, we will support, and we want to support the local film industry. And that is the seed money that we built on in the beginning time. And we have now huge support from Canada Media Fund, RBC, and all the major players. I think with the continued support from these great funders, I think we can go really high, which could be, we know the Toronto National Film Festival, we have an amazing Yorkton Film Festival. Those are legacy film festivals with 40, 50, 60 years of record of running. But we are only 10, so we are still obviously really behind. But that's not a bad thing. We have a lot of room to grow as a continued growing organization. So you can see as something that widely celebrated in Saskatchewan, a tour, a movie tour. That's something that we're working on, and a provincial tour, I would say. That's an initiative that we're working on the pipeline. We're working on a theater project for disability community. So there is a lot of amazing things that we're working on behind the journey. So you can see those kind of stuff. I don't want to say too much of things, but yeah, it's not stopping today. That's what I'm just saying. Thanks.
Any other questions? Yeah.
It's all a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming and supporting.
Sure, the gala and the award ceremony? Yes. Can you share a little bit about what the gala and the award ceremony are each like?
I think Tim is one of the team members of the gala team. Do you want to take that question?
Oh, the ceremony, yes.
Yes, so the question is what we can expect for the award ceremony. Well, RIFFA it's a closing event, so we always give a special touch and attention to our closing ceremony because it's special, because we're honoring and celebrating all the winners, and it's the culmination of the 5 to 10 years, 10 days old running festival. So you can see local filmmakers gathering and a lot of traveling filmmakers from different parts of the world and nationally traveling. And there is some great performances from local artists. And there will be a colorful red carpet that, you know, it's something that we not usually see in Saskatchewan scene. So we just wanted to celebrate it a little bit more, things that we can bring a little more color to it. But end of the day, it's the whole aspect of the festival, right? It's just a lot of celebration throughout the week. And that 2-hour session is just, you know, the icing on the cake. But the cake is big, so come and eat the cake. Yes, thanks.
Yeah, it's pure celebration. And some people like the excuse to get dressed up and take a picture with great lighting. Any other questions? Oh yeah, Michael.
So RIFFA Academy founded in 2017 as an initiative to build a platform for you know, marginalized voices to provide, how can we provide an inclusive education? So that is where, okay, good, we are safe. So that's where the idea of RIFFA Academy started. And the goal for the RIFFA Academy is to add more inclusive education. We are planning on adding more fellowship programs like Directors Fellowship, Producers Fellowship, and probably Actors Mentorship as well. So there's a lot of mentorship program and fellowship activities under pipeline, but funding is a huge issue. So we're working on it and get in touch with all the funders, and hopefully we were able to more support, and we can support these activities in the future. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, a highlight moment from the last 10 years. A best highlight.
Philip, do you want to take that question?
I'm going to merge your question with an earlier one because I think, and I'm going to dodge the question, because I think in terms of looking ahead for the next 10 years, John covered the ground perfectly. I think we have the films, we have the audiences, we have the community support, we have the engagement with the community in terms of contributions that we're making. I think a lot of people locally would love to see more glamour. And by that I mean having enough resources to bring stars here, and also just directors and actors and others who have not in the past been able to travel here to see their films. I think the high water mark for us was 2019, just before COVID. COVID sort of knocked us back a step or two, but we had a very glamorous gala that year with many of the people that I've just described being able to come and attend. That would be a precious memory, I think, that was very much shared with our audience and our public. And personally, I'm looking forward to being able to do more of that. I know I speak for everyone in being particularly excited as an event about for the red carpet and dressing up as was mentioned, and having people here. So anyway, that's my dodging your question a little bit, but also filling in. Yeah, okay.
That's wonderful. Thank you, everyone, so very much for coming and sharing your morning with us. We're excited about the event. Please don't hesitate to reach out or look at our website, riffa.ca, for any further information. Sign up for our newsletter and follow us on social media because we will be putting out updates. Hopefully, we will see you in August. Thank you all very much.